Morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're in Queensland, that's why you think it's morning,
yeah.
right? Like it's like 1 o'clock.
Actually, it's 12:01 here, so good afternoon. Guys, as you come on the line, feel free to switch on your camera because we would love to see you as we start the session today. And I think we've got everyone that's on for now. We've got some more people joining. Afternoon, everyone. Welcome. So I think we are probably just about right to kick things off. So let's get started. So first and foremost, thank you so much for everyone that is joining us this afternoon for the AUSactive Is Listening series. For those of you that I haven't met before, my name is Chantal Broderick, and I wanted to start by introducing Jen Dugard and Edwina Griffin. Jen and Eddie, we all sit on the board of AUSactive, and we are super grateful for the chance to chat to you all this afternoon for the AUSactive Is Listening series. Now, before we do get started, I'd also love to welcome and introduce the team from AUSactive, and I can see some of the team members are on now. Currently, we have got the CEO of AUSactive, Barry Elvish. Welcome, Barry. We have got Luke Morris on the line, customer service team. Thank you, Luke, for joining us this afternoon. We've got Jacinta Hughes on the line, customer service team as well. Rachel Ely, the marketing specialist. Billy, it looks like you've got the wrong name, but I'm going to say Billy Cox, the general manager of business development. Hopefully, I'm sure we've got some others on the line, but they're not popping up on screen. So my apologies to any of the AUSactive team. Oh, Scott, I can see you there as well. Scott Bumstead's with us as well. So welcome along to those of you from the AUSactive team that are joining us. And thank you once again to everyone who is joining us for this afternoon session. Now, just a quick reminder, if this is the first time that you're doing one of these webinars with us, this session is 100% for you guys. It is absolutely your chance to talk to us about your pain points, your challenges, your highlights in your business, or anything in relation to AUSactive. The sessions are totally raw, so we want you to feel super comfortable. We are definitely not here with an agenda. It is just simply an opportunity for us to listen to you, our members. So when possible, we will absolutely answer questions right away, but we're very lucky to have members of the AUSactive team that will be able to help us out if we can't answer any of your questions. A couple of bits and pieces. We do want to say a big thank you to our business partner for this session, which is T2. And as you can see up on screen at the moment, they've very kindly given us a Christmas prize to give away today. So shortly, I will throw to Luke and we will spin the chocolate wheel and give away that prize for today. Before we open up the conversation, a couple of really quick rules of engagement that we do like to share during these sessions is obviously please be kind and respectful to everyone. We do ask that you keep the questions short and sweet just in case there are a lot of questions that come through, and there's definitely no such thing as a silly question. So without further ado, Luke, I think we'll hold off the chocolate wheel just now. I think we'll open up for some conversation before we do that. Does anyone have any questions, any comments, any feedback that you would like to share with the group this afternoon? And thank you all for putting your cameras on. It's great to see you. Anyone want to kick things off this afternoon? You can just come off mute if you do. Let me just look around. Feel free to jump on. Everyone's going to sit back. Guys,
we've got a big group, so someone's just got to be brave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was like someone else will do it.
Yeah. Guys,
what about any feedback about AUSactive?
Yeah.
Just the general chat. Doesn't have to be a major point, but
I could jump in if you want.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. So I've already sent an email to Chris. And first of all, thanks for being so open for feedback. But just the new website's causing a lot of confusion. There was a heap of really good data there on the Fitness Australia website, and now there's just links, and it looks like links to different blogs. I run Fitness Institute and RTO, and we've student insurance has all of a sudden gone from $0 to $25. It seemed like sort of without any warning. So we're sort of having to cover that cost for people we've advertised free student insurance for. And yeah, like then I sort of ran past my staff on sort of their thoughts on the naming convention. I guess I had a bit of a heads up that it was going to happen, but a few are just sort of a bit iffy, feeling like it might sort of lose a bit of credibility in the industry, especially for people with fitness qualifications and not just sort of the active range. Other people said, oh, that's great, looking at sort of getting people more active and everything like that. Yeah, so I think the logo and everything still looks nice and professional, so it's all pretty basic feedback at this stage. But I think right now the priority would just be to get that website back to what it used to be. Just change the logo, keep everything else the same, because everything, the references, the resources to pre-screens and all that was really easy to find before. I know it's sort of like somewhat broken in different parts right now, but yeah, that's my feedback for now. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity again to advise.
Philip, thank you so much. I kind of feel like we might break that into two different sections, because I think one of the marketing team might like to address the website, and then perhaps Barry might like to speak to the brand. Rachel, I can see you nodding. Did you or Billy want to say anything in relation to the website?
I don't mind jumping in here. So yeah, thank you for the feedback on the website, and absolutely take that on. We are about to launch in the next week stage 2 of the website. So you would notice that at the moment it's the front of house is new, and it does then link through to some of the back of house from the old. So it is a transition. With our website, I think we had over 600 things in the toolbox and documents and articles that are still so relevant. So it is a transition process. So we've definitely taken on board everything that you've said with that. And hopefully we'll let you know in the next 2 weeks when we have updated that stage 2. And then by April next year, even the back of house will be transitioned over. So it is a transition period. If there's any urgent documents that you're having trouble finding, please just shoot us an email and we'll get them straight across. They will be on there somewhere, but in that next 2 weeks, things will be a lot clearer to find and transition through. And I think you'll actually find once we do get through these couple of stages with that, the user experience will actually be even better than what it was previously. So that's what we're working towards. It'll just take us a bit of time to transition.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. Yeah, because like little examples, I might link or say fitness.org.au/guidelines, which sort of goes back a few revisions. That at least still linked, which is great. Yeah. But I'd like our students to, as part of their course, actually navigate the website rather than me just giving them. I'll say, go here, then go to policies and guidelines, then go here, just so they get familiar with the brand and they can continue to, I guess, advocate Fitness Australia rather than just saying, oh, here's a copy of a X Gym's pre-screen that might be out of date. This way they make sure they get always the latest information. So yeah, cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for that. Great summary. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Barry, did you want to add on to any of that?
Yeah, thanks, Chantel. And Phil, thanks for sending your views through to Chris, which he shared with me. And I know that you are a very strong supporter of us, having met you a couple of times now in person up there in sunny Queensland. Just a couple of comments. First of all, the student membership, that we introduced a price for student membership at the start of, actually at the launch, we introduced that price of $25 for student membership. With that also comes now the full suite of benefits that what we would used to call an AUSrep and our personal trainer accesses. So they're actually getting extra value for that. I apologise for the fact that you weren't given notice in advance. I've spoken to the individual staff member that was supposed to be communicating with all the RTOs and drawn that to his attention that at least one of you did not know. So apologies for that. In terms of the name of the brand, the new AUSactive, whichever way we went, it was always going to be a little bit problematic in terms of potentially, I guess, having some of our long-standing members feel that we had left fitness behind because we dropped fitness off the official name. You need to take it from me that we did a lot of research and a lot of, feedback from members and stakeholders and external stakeholders about how we came at that name of AUSactive, and it's very much strategically positioned for us moving forward. It also aligns us with several international organisations that are either currently have active in their name or are about to have active in their name. And I'm thinking about our North American counterparts at the moment to give us some international credibility there as well. But it's also designed to be able to leverage with the federal government, public health campaigns, preventative health campaigns, and so on. One of the things we said at the launch a couple of weeks back now, 2 weeks tomorrow, was that we're going to be spending the time from then until Christmas before we go public with a consumer campaign, getting all those sort of little hiccups that you've brought to our attention sorted. and hopefully they'll all be done before we do actually go public with the campaign, which is scheduled for late January, early February. But I'd have to also say that we ran a quick poll after the launch last week, 2 weeks ago, and 95% of those who saw it said they loved it or liked it. 5% said they were sitting on the fence waiting to see what it actually meant. So that's probably not a bad, I guess, level of support. But as I said, whenever you change a name and change a logo, etc., you're going to upset some people. The task for us now as an organisation and my staff and myself is to make sure we do not lose our long-standing members, and we can actually talk to them and make sure they understand this is actually going to give them more credibility, more professionalism, and ultimately more income through the commercial side of it.
Yeah, thanks for that, Barry. That's a great summary. Yeah, I'm sort of contending with other things as well. Like they've just dropped the diploma of fitness, which sort of happened despite a few different things. So I want to make sure that the whole industry that especially you all sort of have in the scope remains as professional as possible. And I know you were able to communicate some of this to me when you did the Townsville road trip, which has been great. So yeah, thank you very much for the feedback. That's awesome. Cheers.
Philip, thank you so much for your comments and your questions as well. So just throwing back to the floor, is there anyone else that had any comments, feedback, perhaps about the rebrand or anything that's happening in your particular market today? We do have people from all over Australia, which is great to see. So if there is any comments, feel free to just come off mute. Naomi, I think you've come off mute. Did you want to say anything?
Yes. Hi, sorry I can't put my camera on. I work for a not-for-profit. We run exercise for mental health programs, and we work with PTs and also yoga and Pilates instructors. And I just wanted to say it's really good that yoga and Pilates instructors can now be registered with AUSactive. My understanding is they couldn't be before, because it's a lot easier for us to just say everyone be registered with this one organisation rather than sorting out different ones. So that makes it a lot easier.
Excellent, Naomi. Thank you very much for the feedback. That's terrific. Anyone else want to comment? John, you're off mute.
Yeah. Barry, did you consult your members? I can't recall receiving a note or a survey saying, do you want to change the name of this industry?
We didn't send out a direct survey to our members, John, but we did certainly have around Australia meetings with our members, which is what Phil was referring to before. But no, we didn't send out a survey, and to be quite honest, I think that would be absolutely like trying to herd cats to do that, because once we sent out a survey to our members and we would get responses that probably had a multitude of potential name that we could change it to. And we actually had, with the company we worked with, I think over 25 originally names that we then wheeled it down to about 6, which was then taken to the board for the board's review as well. But no, we didn't do a general survey. So I guess the only survey we've done since then would be the poll we did after the launch last time around. And what I can say is that every members briefing I spoke at the start of this year and last year, before COVID locked us down from travelling, and we talked about a name change without knowing what the name was going to be, there was overwhelming support to change the name, because it was seen as not really advancing the interest of the sector or its membership. But having said that, I know that you're not happy, John, because you've communicated to me a couple of times. So there's always going to be some that we upset.
Well, I'm not particularly upset, but we're the fitness industry. We're selling fitness. And fitness is the word that dare not speak its name. The medical industry doesn't do fitness. It's below their pay grade. And the community is getting unfitter and unfitter. I think we're selling fitness. Fitness should be in our name.
Yeah, well, I guess you've partly answered one of the reasons we've changed, in that you have quite correctly indicated the medical industry doesn't do it. But if we want to actually, I guess, follow what's happening overseas, particularly in the UK, where doctors are now prescribing exercise as medicine rather than medication, then we need to be talking the same language that the doctors are using and so on. And fitness, I mean, you're talking to the converted here, John, but fitness, let me tell you, is actually viewed by many people in the community outside of the 20% or whatever that go to gyms as being almost elitist as a concept, and almost, I guess, not mainstream. It can also be seen as exclusive. If you talk to a person that doesn't exercise or partake in physical activity, they need to go and get fit, as opposed to they need to start an exercise or physical activity regime, you get quite a different response. And part of this is also educating the community that, you know, fitness is a good outcome, but I don't necessarily think everyone that starts an exercise program or physical activity has the intention of actually getting fit per se. It's interesting that people going to the gyms, according to Ausplay data, is the second most popular activity after recreational walking. So, you know, we've got, I think this is a transition, this is a repositioning of what we and you would traditionally know as the fitness sector. And as I say, whenever we make these sort of changes, it wasn't one person's thought bubble. It was done after a lot of consultation, a lot of input, and okay, we didn't ask our members, and whether if that was a bad call, I take responsibility for that.
I think it was a bad call. You should ask your members.
Well,
you keep saying we. Who's we?
Well, we is Fitness Australia, and we are the people that went to, well, what was Fitness Australia, and we are the people that did round the country members briefings, which is face to face. And as I'd say, you know, the level of responses I've been getting so far, and whether they are self-selecting, I'm not sure, but the level of responses I'm getting so far is overwhelming support for the change of the name and the new direction. But we're never going to satisfy everybody. That's just the way it is.
Well, my last comment is I work in the fitness industry.
Can I jump in and just support everybody? And John, we 100% hear what you're saying. I think it's important to understand that when Fitness Australia or AUSactive make a decision, and even if it doesn't go out to the members, it comes to the board. So you've got myself, Chantel and Eddie on the call today, and we stand up every single time and represent the personal trainers, the fitness professionals, the exercise professionals. And I do very much think that there's a big part of the industry the population that don't ever step into a gym, or they don't go to a boot camp or a group exercise class because they're not fit enough to get there. So if we can actually educate them that exercise, movement, wellness, health, I'm seeing all the words thrown around in the comments, leads to fitness, then it's a win-win for everybody, because we as personal trainers get more work and more people in the community get moving. So, yeah.
Thanks, Jenna. I can also absolutely guarantee, John, that yoga and Pilates and dance people definitely do not see themselves as part of the fitness industry that you refer to.
Thank you.
John, thank you very much for your comments, and Barry and Jen also. Mel, thanks for your notes. I can see some people are adding to the chat thread there. Michelle, you've come off mute. Did you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, hi guys. I don't know if this is the right place to be questioning this, but I requested some information, I think it was last week, regarding my scope of practice, and I received some information. It was regarding nutrition guidelines. So your statement and the material that I was sent, that was quite, I found quite problematic. The statement was, the Australian guidelines apply to all healthy Australians, as well as those with common health conditions, such as being overweight. My issue with that is, like you have just spoken about, a lot of people I know from working in a gym, a lot of people are really scared to come into gyms because of their body size and stuff like that. So seeing information like that, saying that being overweight is a health condition, I think is quite a broad statement. There are people, like, what are we using as overweight? Are we using a BMI scale? There's people with BMIs 26, 27 that don't have any health conditions. I think it's just quite problematic language saying that being overweight is a health condition. And if this is the information that we are sending out to people in our industry, what are we really doing about the issue of size, diversity, and inclusiveness in this industry.
Michelle, first of all, thank you, because this forum is absolutely your opportunity to ask any questions or to voice any feedback. So you're definitely in the right place. I will either probably throw to Barry or maybe Chris, if you're still on the line, you might want to respond. Chris Alexander, I was thinking maybe. Barry, I might throw to you because Chris may not be on the line anymore.
No,
Do you have any feedback?
Chris is on, Chantel. He should be able to answer that.
You're not able to answer that, Barry?
No, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Oh.
And Chris will be the one I'll have to get the answer from anyway. I'm not
Okay.
sure why he's not responding, because he's indicating he's on the line here. So
if Chris isn't available at the moment, we can.
Okay.
I'll grab Michelle's contact details and get him to contact her after as well. So that's fine.
I can throw a few little comments in there if you want with healthy eating guidelines. Like it always comes on.
Philip, I think we've just lost your audio. Yeah, we have just lost your audio. Perhaps we might come back to you. So Michelle, just to follow up on that. So Luke will have a chat to Chris and get back to you. Thank you very much for sharing that feedback with us. And sorry we can't answer you straight away, but we'll definitely.
Chantel, I actually spoke to Chris about this the other day, and that direct quote came from the Dietitian Australia's Association, which is where we got the information from, and we're looking at having that updated as soon as possible.
Jacinta, thank you very much for that. And Michelle, certainly we can get the team to chat to you further about that as well. So thank you very much. Is there anyone else that has any questions, comments, feedback while we're all here together this afternoon?
Yeah, can I just step in quickly?
Go for it, Jackie.
Look, I am probably one of your old serving members, and I've probably kept taking out membership more out of loyalty than anything else. But I'll be honest, I have not accessed anything in years with respect to Fitness Australia. I just felt, not that it was lame, but there wasn't what I was looking for. Having been an older member, I've moved and studied different disciplines along the way, and I wanted more. I actually wanted more out of what I was getting. So this to me is just fabulous. I think it's way and well overdue. I'm really pleased, and I do thank Barry in particular, because I have seen you move us into this new arena. However, I do want to know how we would stand, say, up against an exercise physiologist, because actually ever since the emergence of exercise physiologists, I think it's more or less dampened down, more so PTs. We're looked down upon, regardless of how much or what your skill set may be as you've acquired along the way. So where is our standing? Where will be our standing?
Jackie, first of all, thank you very much for sharing that feedback. We really appreciate it. Barry, did you want to respond to Jackie?
Yeah, I'm happy to respond, Chantel. I think it's a little bit ironic. I'm probably the one with the least fitness industry background taking these questions, but thanks, Jackie, and thanks for your feedback. So look, just a couple of, I guess, comments here, and hopefully this will go some way to answering what you're talking about. First of all, it was really pleasing to see in Queensland 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, gyms being classified as an essential service, and what that means for our industry moving forward. Now, they're the first state that hopefully we can leverage to make that across Australia. That is a huge step forward, and I'd like to think it's part of the result of the work we've been doing up there with Queensland Health, which has been very, very positive. I'd also point out that we have just signed an agreement with Medibank Private, whereby they are recognising our personal trainers with a Cert 4 or above as registered providers of services for Medibank for those that have the extras program. And that's been worked out with them and under the AUSactive imprimatur. And the concept there, Jackie, is that our PTs will be sort of like the lead in to an allied health person and the lead out from an allied health person. So basically we're going to be complementing in and out. That's the concept, which I think really does reinforce what you're worried about. It actually does go some way towards countering that. And similarly, that will be the view that we would hope we can get the federal, one of the federal parties with the election coming up to at least start talking about public health and preventative health, because I really believe, and this comes back to part of the logic to changing our name and making it more inclusive of other modalities, is that AUSactive has an incredibly important role that it currently plays, but it's unrealised, but even more of a potential role we can play in preventative health in Australia. And I would see us taking that position in Australians' health spectrum, and your allied health taking the rehab or the next part of it. So that's part of the, I guess, underlying strategy of this whole, what we're trying to do with repositioning. So I hope that gives you some degree of comfort or confidence, but it's all going to come down to how to pick up on John, how you collectively operate as professionals. If we're all sort of heading in the right direction, I think in a period of 3 to 5 years, we will find that we will be sitting not part of allied health, but certainly aligned with it and leading in and leading out, and be seen as a critical component of the overall health of Australians, which is where we need to get under the health department, away from sport and rec. And I think that will cement our role forever and a day in the future. And your positions as professionals, it will also increase your credibility and your professionalism outside of the sector with the wider community.
Barry, thank you. Eddie, did you want to add on to that?
Thanks, Chantal. I was just going to comment, just because, Jackie, I've been in PT for 25 years too. And I think in terms of your point, the one thing that kind of came to mind for me was the difference that we can have with, I think there's a space for both, exercise physiology and PT don't have to be exclusive, but they can be, and we can cross refer. And I think certainly, as Barry just said, we build our own credibility, absolutely. But one of the strengths of I saw is in terms of this branding is that recognition of a PT can have the qualifications in yoga and Pilates. We can provide that very holistic approach to lifestyle, which is really where medicine and where, as Barry has already expressed, where that whole sector is heading, where sport is heading, a lot more than when it did back in sort of 95 when I started, where it was all about sort of sport, exercise, physiology, and if you're good in rehab space, I'm a Czech practitioner. I had great relationships with surgeons. I don't think it's exclusive, but I think this opens up the potential for people who may not be in the rehab space to bring in their Pilates, to bring in their aqua, to bring in the yoga, and really be seen as that holistic health solution, which is a different market sometimes to the exercise physiologists, and we can really create great niches. So I guess that's one of the reasons I was really supportive from someone who's been in the industry a while. Just thought I'd share it.
Thank you.
Eddie, thank you. Barry and Jackie, thank you all very much. And I can see now that Chris Alexander has joined us, and perhaps, Chris, I can bring you up to speed, because it'd be great to add on to the earlier discussion that we had with Michelle, and Jacinta did comment, and that was in relation to the information received around the Australian dietary guidelines. And Michelle was just asking about that particular language in relation to, I think, Michelle, you might want to confirm for me, but I think you said that the specific line was about the health and overweight, people that are overweight.
Yeah. Sorry, Michelle. I did actually hear what you were saying. I was rapidly trying to get myself on camera and mute, but it wouldn't allow me, so I had to relog in. Sorry. So yeah, pertinent to that question, and Philip started talking about it, and didn't get the end of that though. That information, we work collaboratively with allied health professions, as referred before, to whether it be ESA, or whether it be the Dietitians Associations Australia, whether it be Sports Dietitians in Australia as well. So to develop those sports, the nutrition healthy eating guidelines, we work collaboratively with the Dietitians Associations, and they largely utilise the information that's publicly accessible through the Eat for Health guide. So that is a direct quote, I suppose, the language that was utilised on that government website. Now, they're fully aware of that language is probably not the best language, and that they are actually updating it as we speak. But that will take a year or two to get done, just like anything in government. So I think you are right. We've got to be delicate with the language that we use, and we will agilely update our nutrition guidelines in accordance with what the professors and professionals are saying, not just the nutritionists or the dietitians, but also those in the behavioural science world as well, because that's important and integral to impacting the consumers at the other end.
Wonderful. That's really, really good to hear. Thank you.
Chris, thanks for jumping on, and Michelle, thanks for a great question. And hopefully just by the variety of topics and conversations that we've covered so far, I just want everyone to feel super comfortable that feel free to ask anything. That's exactly what these sessions are about. So thank you very much for those of you that have shared your thoughts and your questions and your feedback with us so far. Is there anyone else that wanted to talk today? Any questions that we haven't covered? Leonie, hi.
Hi everyone, nice to be here. I'm just going to move the conversation sideways a little bit if I can. I'm hearing, words like holistic, preventative, diversity. Naomi mentioned mental health, and Barry, you've mentioned that AUSactive is moving towards collabing with health rather than perhaps sport and rec, which I actually think is a really fantastic direction and really necessary for this space. I was a PT for a long time, and the one thing I found when I was PTing is I had probably 80% of my clients with mental health issues. And the one thing I wasn't prepared for is the kind of conversations that I engaged in with those clients, particularly because it becomes very much a relational relationship. A lot of those boundaries and barriers are crossed as you spend more and more time with individuals. So my greatest concern is that we've got a lot of very young PTs out there who aren't equipped to have these and engage in these conversations with personal trainers. My career has shifted a lot. I'm now more in the mental health and wellbeing space, very passionate about mental health and mental health first aid. And what I would actually really love to see is that all personal trainers, it's compulsory for them to do mental health first aid training as well as first aid training. And I wonder what your thoughts might be around that.
You can see lots of people nodding.
Yeah, a lot of people nodding, passionate about that. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, we've had that experience.
all of us who are PTs understand what those conversations are like. So really great feedback and question. Barry, I'm not going to keep throwing to you, but I know that this is an area that you are very passionate about.
I am Chantel, and Leonie, thanks for bringing that up. I mean, I've as I've said a number of times, have lived experience and still do with mental health issues, and very much support 100% what you've just said in terms of we've all heard the story a number of times how the PTs are like a hairdresser and so on. They're the first point of contact. And that's why with the accreditation program that we have for our PTs, it has a compulsory mental health component in it. I absolutely agree with you. I think it should be mandatory for all. And I also agree with you, being of the older generation, that some of the younger crew coming through they may have the best of intentions, but they may not know what to actually do, and that's a recipe for potential harm for both parties. And so then the role of the mentor, the mentee comes in. But we did actually put in a funding application with Inside Out Institute last year to have the government fund mental health for all PTs Australia-wide, not just our members, but all ones. And we're going to raise that issue again with the government. It was only 5 million. It's bugger all money, to be quite honest. So look, 100% behind what you're saying. It's critically important. And one good thing, I guess, that's come out of COVID, if any good thing can come out of it, is the realisation of exercise and mental health, a very strong linkages there. So, and Frydenberg saying at the start of this year with the budget that mental health is a national priority. So they're making all the right noises. Let's try and hold them accountable.
Yeah, and it's connecting those dots, isn't it? So there's a massive pot of money at the moment for mental health, and the sector I'm in, there's a lot of attention at the moment on this space. But I've often thought, having had a fitness background and also going on and working in an RTO as well, training fitness instructors and personal trainers who they themselves, we often had 30% in our classrooms of people having pre-existing mental health conditions. And then even us as coaches and trainers and assessors trying to engage in those conversations with those students who are actually struggling through their course as well, trying to complete their course because they have lived experience. So I also feel that trainers and assessors as well that are, teaching these emerging PTs need to also have some coaching around these conversations too. So Barry, I might take that offline with you if that's cool, and we might explore that a little bit more.
Absolutely, I welcome that, Leonie.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Leonie, and Barry as well. And I just want to acknowledge, Philip, thank you for the comments that you're adding to the chat thread. If anyone isn't following along, do take the time to glance over that chat thread as well, because there's some really great information and comments that's going in there as well. Rachel, did you want to say something?
Yeah, definitely. Great point, Leonie. And I just wanted to say, as per what Philip's saying, there's a program we developed with Belgravia Foundation, which Chris can speak to more, called Help, which actually earns completely free to all AUSactive exercise professionals, and it actually earns you 2 free CCs, and essentially it kind of gives you, I guess, the skills to cope with your own mental health, as well as how to support others around you. We're also speaking with Lifeline about 2 weeks ago, Billy and myself, and we were just talking about how, PTs definitely find themselves where they're an accidental counsellor, just because they've created that safe space with their clients. So we're talking about getting that program as well. Early discussions, but phenomenal point. Thank you so much for your feedback. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. We have a mental health course that we've partnered with St John's Ambulance that is also available at a discounted rate. And I've done it personally. I've done also the mental health first aid course. It's not two days like the full shebang, but it definitely covers off a unit of competency, which is really valuable to and relevant to the fitness industry, contextualized to the fitness industry as well. So worthwhile considering that. And there, in addition, as put in the chat, there is units of competency that have been added into the electives of the Certificate for Fitness, which just launched last month.
Chris, thank you. Rachel, thanks. And Leonie, thanks again for your comments and feedback. Anyone else wanted to chat? John?
Yeah, I think that as fitness practitioners in the mental health field, it's our duty, responsibility, or something we can do to prescribe, measure, manage and monitor the aerobic fitness that people with depression and mental health conditions have. Any comment about that? Practitioner, not a trainer. I hate that. I'm a fitness practitioner, and I have special skills in prescribing, measuring, managing and monitoring aerobic fitness, strength and flexibility.
Sorry, John, I'm not clear on what your question is. I don't know. Sorry.
I'm making a comment that we have a very particular role of getting people to be more aerobically fit. We can prescribe fitness in the dosage that affects them, improves their mental health, and we can monitor it.
I totally agree, John. I might just comment on that I think that's absolutely correct. I think the opportunity I see with the AUSactive branding and bringing in that broader context is actually to widen the funnel. We're still only getting 20% of the population under fitness. If we can widen that funnel by including the other services, we're more likely to get those people that you refer to in fitness. The bigger the funnel, the more people we can help and get that 20% up to 30 or 40 or 21 even. I don't see it as being separating or crossing out fitness. It's absolutely a huge part of it, but it's that mind-body connection that is, that science is backing now, and it all interacts, and we know that they all support one another. So I think I totally agree with what you're saying. I think it's exciting in that way.
What the fitness industry has been doing is picking the low-hanging fruit. Look at the advertising for fitness. It would put anybody off. The next layer of fruit up the tree are the people who are in poor physical condition, and we can prescribe. Come to our gym and we'll prescribe the amount of activity you need to do. If you've got a crook back, come to us. We've got the exercises that'll square you up and do that sort of stuff. We are professional with a level 3, particularly level 4 certificate. We're competent to do that. We don't have to give it out to someone wearing a white coat. We're the strength, flexibility and physical fitness, aerobic fitness professionals. And Barry, I must say, you've brought new life to this organisation. You're doing a fantastic job. You really are.
Thanks, John.
John, thank you once again for your contribution. Now we've still got a little bit of time up our sleeves, and I am not going to wrap things up until, of course, we give away our prize from T2. So that is coming up. But before we get to that, are there any other comments, any other feedback? Jackie, thank you, seconding that. Any other comments, feedback, questions from anyone? This is our last one before Christmas, so now's your opportunity if you did want to chat or share your thoughts with the group. Or silence on the floor. Do you think that's that might be our cue, Luke, to throw to the chocolate wheel?
Yeah, I'm ready if you guys are.
Okay, so and by the way, we will still have an opportunity to chat after this, but this will give you all a bit of time to collect your thoughts and your questions. So Luke is going to spin the chocolate wheel, and we're going to give away our prize from T2, who has very kindly donated a prize for today. Off we go, Luke, when you're ready.
Like everyone.
It's a good looking wheel.
Owen's got it. Owen's found it.
Excellent, Luke. Thank you so much. OMB, congratulations. You are the winner of our T2.
Owen Bowling. We haven't heard from you, Owen.
Where are you, Owen? I can't even see you.
He's usually quite chatty.
Acceptance speech.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Redraw.
Yeah, I was the late entrant as well.
Half of that I told where I was.
Mel, you can have it, Mel.
Yeah. Mel wants the set.
That's hilarious. Good to see you all, guys. Good to see you all.
Thanks for joining us, Owen. Okay, now, do we have any other questions, any feedback, any comments? It's been a terrific chat today, guys. It's been really, really good, and I want to thank everyone that has commented and participated today, and also everyone that's just joining us today. So if there aren't any further comments, Jen or Eddie or any of the AUSactive team, Jen is off mute, so I'm going to...
I am off mute.
Hi.
How are you? I just wanted to add in, because we've had a couple of questions around, so we had Leonie with the mental health, and also Jackie around where do we stand next to exercise physiologists and things like that. So to really encourage people to look at the accreditation process, because obviously it does include mental health, like we touched on before. And if you can choose to be accredited or you can choose to be registered. No one's being forced to do either, but if you choose to be accredited, then you're always going to be the next level up than someone that's just choosing to be registered. So it's a really great opportunity that AUSactive have provided for us to be more recognised. And that is in, I work very much with allied health in the women's health space. So, if you're an accredited exercise professional or fitness professional, whatever you want to call yourself, then that level of standing next to exercise phys. And I think they're actually just completely different. I think we complement each other. I don't think either person takes work. I don't believe in competition anyway, but like if there's more opportunity to collaborate and you guys have the opportunity to become more and more, I guess, recognized within the industry. So I don't know if anyone else wanted to touch on the accreditation process more than I did.
Well, Jen, just to add to that, Jen, the deal with Medibank is that the personal trainers with Cert 4 or above will have 12 months to become accredited under AUSactive to be able to continue that registered provider status. And that accreditation program is the one that we've been piloting, or Chris has been piloting for the last 18 months or so. It's also had an overview by Medibank as well to make sure it reflects what they want. It's available at no cost to our personal trainers. So our personal trainers can now be either, as you've said, registered or accredited with AUSactive. And this again is part of raising the standards and professionalism, which is what Jackie was concerned about before. So I'd encourage people to jump on board with that. And also, I might hand over to Billy for a couple of seconds just to get her to talk about the badges that are now going to be available very soon for all of our members to be able to, I haven't got mine on today, but to put on their pops and brag about being part of AUSactive. And John, I want you to wear one too, okay?
It'll be a pleasure.
So we're really excited to hopefully by Monday or Tuesday next week, every member will actually get their digital credentials. So not only their certificates that they've had previously, but an actual digital badge. So those badges show your levels. They show like 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. They'll also have, there's a whole range of badges and levels that people can collect, so that there'll be accreditation. So with these digital credentials, you can push it out on your social, you can have it on your website, and it actually, it's all certified. So when you click on it, it goes back into a page. So anyone, any of your customers, anyone out there wanting to see what you do and what level you're at can click on that and go through a full page explaining what your credential is all about and what it's taken to have that credential. So again, it's really raising the standard, making the consumer understand, knowing what that AUSactive flag means and knows what those badges mean. So the more people we have go through the accreditation process, both individuals and businesses, again, the higher the standard, and people really know that they can trust. It's like the trust mark flag when people see those badges. So next week, they'll all be getting released.
Really exciting news, Billy. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think we are just about there. Are there any other comments, any questions?
Yes, I was going to make one last comment. We are in the front line of primary health care. We want people to come to us. If they're feeling not in good shape, come to us.
I don't think you'll get any arguments there, John. Thank you very much, John, for that comment. Okay, so if there's any other, yes, Daniela, hi.
Chantel's one more.
Hey.
Yep, Daniela.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because okay. Yeah, well, hi everybody. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page there with Leonie, I think, about the mental health and about the holistic approach, which I kind of really looking forward to 2022 about the holistic approach to fitness and stuff. I recognize the need for that part of fitness, if I can say, or physical well-being. And I myself, I become like a mental practitioner as a counselor, and I kind of wanted it to implement that to help the clients together, like with that, with nutritionists, being a nutritionist as well, everything. Like, but what I found really challenging is that when I talk to the people who works at the in the gym industry, well, I worked at the gym as well, not anymore, but I worked. Well, recently when I talk to them, they're kind of really skeptical, you know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, well, you know, if you talk about that, you might take our clients kind of thing. So it's a lot of that ugly competition going on. And I just think that maybe the goal should be for us now to kind of put them all at ease and to say that, hey, we are all in this together kind of thing. Like if I would to offer my help with, you know, I came there and I said, look, I can help with the diet and with mental health, not just, and the girl said to me, well, you know, the other PTs, they don't want because they see you as a competition. They kind of, it was very discouraging, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't give up, I still help people. But what I mean is like, yeah, just that kind of ugly state that I kind of don't like it. But yeah, I just thought maybe we all can help, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, there's so much things to say, but this is just a short story.
Can I talk to this? Because I think I hugely believe in collaboration over competition. And I think, is it Daniela? I don't want to say it wrong.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes,
yeah, thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think we have to lead by example. So there's nothing that we can do about the fitness professionals or the personal trainers that, you know, see another personal trainer as competition. But if we choose every single time to collaborate with that person, to speak nicely to the person that might not be speaking nicely to us, and exactly like you just said, to persist in that space, then we have to raise the industry to a higher standard. And the people that are choosing to work together understand why we're working together. And we can't look after everyone anyway. And if we just take that real kind of wholehearted approach to helping as many people as we possibly can, we can leave the people that are not taking that approach aside, or hopefully bring them along with us because they'll see that it's a better way to approach things.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Yeah.
Well said, Jen. Thank you very much. And Daniela, thank you for your input as well. Any other comments from anyone this afternoon? I think we're just about there, but I do want to just say thank you again so much. It's been a terrific session, and we are truly grateful when you come along to these sessions. We are absolutely here to listen to what's going on right across Australia, to hear what your experiences are, to hear your thoughts on the work being done by AUSactive. So we're very grateful when you do come along to these sessions and ask questions and give your feedback as well. We will take a moment to go through all of the feedback in the chat thread, and if there's anyone we need to respond to, I know that the team will definitely do that. So I think we're just about there. Jen or Eddie, did you have any final comments that you want to say? No? Good. Barry, all happy? No. Okay, so I think I can then officially say on behalf of the AUSactive board and the team that are here today, thank you so much for joining us all this afternoon, and just wish you all a very, very happy, healthy, safe Christmas and holiday period. And we're really excited to hopefully see everyone again face to face, in person, more often next year. But thank you everyone for your contribution and for being part of this afternoon.
Mel's got have you got a hand up?
Oh, where are you, Mel?
You're
on mute. Oh, you're just waving. She's just waving.
It's a wave, sorry. And I guess the only thing is to say we will be doing these next year again.
Yes,
so please,
100%.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye all. Bye.